So I got this question here. Let's go ahead and address that. This is a pretty common question, and it's usually a really good question to ask yourself before you decide to take the plunge into the railroad. It's also something that the railroad does a really good job of explaining up front. The work-life balance here is tricky, especially if you have children, and especially if your family is used to you being accessible. It's not that you're not going to have time off. It's not that that it's terrible. It's that it is an adjustment, and it is a huge change to not only your lifestyle, but your family's lifestyle. When you're home, you need to be spending time with them and also getting your sleep. I actually did a video on this a little bit earlier that kind of covers, when you're home in between shifts that aren't necessarily days off, but they are, long stretches before you catch your next train out. What do you do with that time? Make sure you check that out. But as far as the schedule goes, the schedule is 24/7, 365. There are built-in days off. So the requirement here is that after 6 days of service, you are required 48 hours off. So after you've worked 6 days in a row, you'll have 2 days off. In addition to that, there's also an FRA rule where after your shift is completed, you have to have 10 hours of rest between when you log out and you clock out at work and when you're able to be called. Not that you're going to be called at that time, but that you're able to be called. In addition to that, when you end up on the extra board, which is where you'll start on the extra board, and there'll be a rotating schedule for the folks that are on the extra board. So let's say this week you have Friday and Saturday off. Next week, you're going to have Saturday and Sunday off. The following week, you'll have Sunday and Monday off. Now, they are set days for you to have off, but they do get interfered with occasionally. So you might be, 20 minutes away from being able to be off on Friday and Saturday, but they call you 20 minutes before your time off period is supposed to start. It's not that you don't get that time, it's that you have to work that shift. And when you get home, then your 48 hours will start off. You'll get those 2 days off. So there's little inconveniences like that you have to consider, but it's more of a lifestyle adjustment than anything else. So if you're looking for weekends off, this is definitely not the place to do that. As you gain seniority with the railroad and you're here longer, you'll have more opportunities to bid on jobs that have better schedules. But that's pretty much how this works. And it's one of the drawbacks that keep people from taking the plunge. The schedule's challenging, but the balance there is the cash worth the exchange of time and the inconvenience. It's kind of a running joke that the railroad doesn't pay you for the work you're doing. They pay you for the inconvenience of the time. So hope that helps.